Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we've got a few things to cover because me and the boys got a couple of days in. We've got new tools, new parts, a bunch of measuring done, and engine modifications. Oh, wait a minute. Engine modifications. Here's what it looked like. So you can see that we had a pretty busy couple of days. We've been still on the engine. and we had put the brakes on because after we deglazed the cylinders, we just thought we needed to just make sure before we stepped too far over the line that everything was okay. And so we ordered a dial bore gauge. This is just an Amazon one, although I will say it works pretty good. After doing all 8 cylinders, it only lost 1 thou on from our 0 set point. So this is like $59 Canadian. So I guess if you're from the States, that's about $2 or something like that compared to our Canadian money. So we started cleaning up the intake, and actually I'm going to turn this around because it'll be easier for you to see. The boys started work on making a new water tube. The water tube that goes beside the thermostat right here. Ours was quite, well, actually, it was very rotten out. So we looked into it. You can, in fact, buy a stainless steel one for here. But we figured if we just shaved down, this is a 5/8 the copper tube, and we just had to shave it a little bit to fit it in there. So we're going to, of course, use some dope and smack it in. We've left a little bit of extra in there, and you can actually put your finger in the hole and feel that whether it's too far or not. But this is a lot better than, it was going to cost about $80 to get the other one here. We did, in fact, wind up buying a new camshaft. So this is a camshaft we went with after a few questions asked. I'll put the spec up on the screen so that the techie guys can see it. I have heard nothing but good things about the Howard cam still, so this is a pretty much will run what would be stock at idle, but when you come off idle and start going up in the RPM range, there will be a little more performance than the stock cam would have had. So we thought this was a good plan, and this came about after we had measured our cam. You might have saw the cardboard, actually, and I don't see the cardboard. I'm not even sure I have it still. Anyways, because our factory, well, we don't even know if it was a factory cam that was in the engine because there was no Ford markings on it. But we had almost 10 thou variance from at least 1 to 2 lobes, and it just wasn't acceptable to start with that. So that's where we're going with this one. Just got a little box here. Not that that's anything too exciting, but these are the head dowels. Here's the ones that came out of it. They were really, really tight in there, and you can see, wound up having to grab them with vice grips, and as soon as it did that, it flattened them all out, and the one was so tight in there, virtually got destroyed coming out. So we have a brand new set of those that'll be going in. I'll just put this over here. Okay, for the head guys, geez, I want to say Gary, please, I hope I'm right here. So I had a conversation with the guy who built my race engines for years, and he did lots of machine work on other jobs I did. And he said, absolutely, if they're stock valves, the valves have to be updated, and all the exhaust seats have to be replaced with hardened seats. So I have a quote from him already, and those are going to him at the end of the week to get the hardened seats. And if he has to, he'll order the new valves for it. And he'll regrind all the seats for us and replane the heads. So we get these back. They're going to be like brand new, and he's just going to do the work and then hand them back over, and we'll reassemble, of course, because that's no problem for us. So that's where the head stands. So this has been all about engine stuff. You saw the boys polish the crankshaft. It's standing up over there. It's not we're just not happy it's over there. We can't wait till it's back in the engine. But they got all the journals polished, and there was only 2 journals that just had a slight feeling on your nail, and they had to be done twice. And now there's nothing to be felt on the journals whatsoever, and they look really good, actually. So we were using 2000 grit with basically penetrating oil while we did it, and you saw the little shoelace method we were using. Really old school stuff, but, you know, I mean, you've probably been to engine shops before, and this certainly doesn't look like an engine shop. So, and here's the block. So we got a lot more cleanup done on the block itself. So a lot of this blue paint is pretty tough. We'll probably give it a final sand before we decide to paint it, but it is prepped and ready for paint and all the other stuff. So we're going to wait to put the freeze plugs or frost plugs, whichever you prefer, in afterwards, because they're kind of a goldish color and the block's going to be black. So that is where we're going with that. We removed all the little plugs. I believe that is, no, this one, sorry, that's bolts. And we're going to put all new ones in because we have the entire kit for those. Way back, we did a video asking about parts found in the oil pan. There was a spring washer that we found, which we know for sure was from the oil pump drive. And we thought the plug that we found in the oil pan was the relief valve from the oil pump. And it turned out, looking through here, I made a little video. Just give me one sec to find a light. I don't know. Oh, there it is. So the plug that wound up in the oil pan was, in fact, the missing plug. I'll see if I can get that in view for you. Whoops, where is it? There it is. Nope. Oh, there it is. That is the plug that we found in the oil pan, and it was missing from that location, which is on the other side of the distributor port. And I'll put up on the screen as well. I watched a bunch of videos from he's Likens Motorsports, and he's kind of a Ford specialist. He has built some of these FE blocks that turn 7,500 RPM, and he's very thorough. He is very fussy, I must say. But he gives some pretty good advice about what to do with these blocks, especially if you're heading up into the power range. We are not really. We're just mostly stock. But he did actually kind of recommend the little mods. So the little mod for the oil pump galley here that goes under the gasket, excuse me, we just removed a little bit of material to make this opening a little larger and ground it so it's a nice smooth finish in there. It winds up with a little bit of a ledge inside there that the guy from Likens explained, and so we just used a deburrer and got in there and got that fixed up. We did, in fact, wind up going with the opening up the holes for the upper main bearings just a little bit, the three of them that have to be done, this one as well, just a little bit to bring them center. Again, this isn't a race engine, but it just makes sense to us to why not have the advantage and make sure there's more than enough oil. And you could also see in the video that we have all the cam bearings now installed in the block, and all the cylinders have been deglazed, just using your deglazing stones. So the block is getting very close. As a matter of fact, and you saw that Mitch assembled all the pistons now, so all the new rings and everything are on the pistons. And next day in, we're going to be tackling putting this, well, we're going to get, I would say, the majority of the bottom end together. We have to take it off the stand first so that we can access the back and get the, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the cam plug has to go in the back here, as well as the other oil plugs have to go in. So we're going to do those before we start putting in the crankshaft and, you know, of course, all the new main bearings and everything. And I think I want to say I got it all, but I feel like I'm missing something. I'm going to look around really quick because there was something else I wanted to mention. I swear I'm missing something else. You know what will happen is I'll start doing the editing on this, and then I'll realize what I forgot and wind up having to run back out here to do it. So anyways, yes, we got a lot of work done on the block. We're very happy that this is finally moving. We didn't actually expect to spend so much time on it, but we just had to use up a good portion of the morning measuring all the bores, and everything fell within spec. Absolutely everything. I won't try to quote you all the numbers. I don't remember what the run out was. I think it's as long as it's less than 3 thou, and for the most part we were between a half thou and I think the maximum one was about 1.5 thou run out. So the block is completely usable the way it is without having to go 30 over with it and get it machined. And of course, let's just spend a whole lot of money. And I guess the other thing is, by the time we get this built, I don't even know if we're going to be able to afford gas. Gas is heading to $2 a liter here in Canada, which is like $5 a gallon in the States. My God, man, I hope this stops like really soon. I really do. So anyways, the next video will most definitely be another engine video, and we're hoping to Kenny will have the heads for a little bit, and it'll take a bit for us to get those back, and hopefully the nicer weather will come so that we can paint this right in the dead sunshine, because then it finishes up a lot nicer. But in the meantime, we get another day on the engine, and then we should be moving back on the body. I've got to admit, getting pretty anxious to get back going on that, and we were hoping to have definitely epoxy primer on the bottom of it by the end of March, and that might be a little tough, but probably early March anyways. This little diversion over the engine ate a bit of time, but that's the way it rolls. So, yes, and if you've never seen a frost plug kit, that's the kit for the engine there. And it actually comes with every one of them that you need, and the oil galley plugs and everything. So that'll be part of our install after the block's painted. So thanks so much for watching. We appreciate all of you. And we will most definitely be back with more FE stuff. So have a great day. But that front journal, I wouldn't even hesitate to put a bearing on that. That looks good,
God, no.
right?
Going away, eh? Part of it is just the paper rubbing on the...
Yeah, you can hear that the sound got less there. Where's our automated machinery?
You know how I was talking about my shoulder yesterday?
How's it going today?
Oh, no, not good. I'd be drinking with my right arm.